Soft whistling over roofs of stone, morning waking on its own. The town was pale with early spring, before the swallows learned to sing. The streets were damp, the sky was white, a silver hush on every side. Old shutters open to the day, cats crossed the steps along the way. A dog ran down the lower lane, before the scent of coming rain. The bakers warmed the village air, with crust and flour everywhere. And women swept the narrow street, where stone and sunlight slowly meet. Far off beyond the olive line, a low cart bell began to chime, so faint at first, then soft and near, like something long expected here. Before the rain came down at all, before the clouds grew dark and full, the town was holding one deep breath, between the spring and what came next. Before the rain came down so slow, before the square began to glow, a quiet promise filled the sky, as if the day knew something bright. The shepherd stood beside the wall and heard the distant voices call, not loud, not rushed, just light and warm, like color moving toward the storm. The children looked beyond the bend, the old men paused their talk mid-sentence, and even dogs that knew each stone stood still, as if they were not home. Nothing yet had changed its place, but wonder moved across each face, the kind that comes before a sign, before the first wet silver line. Before the rain came down at all, before the clouds grew dark and full, the town was holding one deep breath, between the spring and what came next. Before the rain came down so slow, before the square began to glow, a quiet promise filled the sky, as if the day knew something bright. Soft whistling under morning gray, and something new came with the day. The town was pale. When evening laid its blue on stone, the square grew softer one by one. The plates were cleared, the candles burned, and all the swallows homeward turned. A lantern glowed beside the stair, a ribbon moved in cooling air, and where the dancing filled the light, now footsteps slowed into the night. The tables thinned, the voices fell, the chapel held the final bell, and still the town was gently warm, as if the feast had changed its form. Not gone, just quiet, resting low in windows with a golden glow, in half-finished wine, in folded cloth, in little smiles no one shook off. Lanterns after the feast still shine along the street, along the line, keeping the tender hours bright as spring steps softly into night. Lanterns after the feast still glow over stone the old winds know, and all the joy we could not keep settles where the rooftops sleep. A dog curled up beside a chair, two friends still talking lingered there. An old man hummed the final tune beneath the early silver moon. From one last kitchen came the smell of rosemary and caramel, and somewhere past the upper lane a child was singing once again. No ending grand, no curtain call, just lamplight trembling on the wall. The kind of peace that comes to stay when love has filled an ordinary day. Lanterns after the feast still shine along the street, along the vine, keeping the tender hours bright as spring steps softly into night. Lanterns after the feast still glow over stone the old winds know, and all the joy we could not keep settles where the rooftops sleep. Soft whistling under moonlit eaves, the town grows still, the spring night breeze. Soft whistling through the silver air, morning waking everywhere. Before the bells had filled the square, before the tables, chairs and prayer, the town was washed in pale blue light, still half asleep from fading night. The shutters opened one by one to meet the first and tender sun, and from the kitchens came the scent of bread and herbs and sweet intent. They swept the steps, they cleaned the stones, they carried flowers from their homes. A ribbon hung, a cloth was spread, fresh loaves were stacked, red wine was ready. The square below the chapel wall was waiting quiet, wide and small, as if it knew by noon today the whole town's heart would bloom that way. This is the morning for the feast, when winter's hold is finally released, when stone and sky and windows bright begin to sing with springtime light. This is the morning soft and clear, when all the ones we love draw near, and every lane and every door feels warmer than the day before. Children ran with laughing hands, old men talked of weathered lands. A dog asleep beneath a chair dreamed of crumbs and roasted pears. Above the cliff the swallows turned, and all the little rooftops burned, with that quiet gold that comes before the village truly hums. Nothing rushed and nothing strained, just old small joys returning again. A cloth, a plate, a hand, a song, the kind of beauty that stays long. This is the morning for the feast, when winter's hold is finally released, when stone and sky and windows bright begin to sing with springtime light. This is the morning soft and clear, when all the ones we love draw near, and every lane and every door feels warmer than the day before. Soft whistling over roof and vine, the town prepares, the day will shine. By midday all the square was full, the church bells rang, the air was full of voices, bread and orange peel, of all the things a feast can feel. Long tables stood from wall to wall, beneath the flags and sunlight fall, and cousins, neighbors, young and old, brought bowls of green and cups of gold. There was laughter near the fountain side, a violin somewhere replied, the accordion breathed through the heat, and dancing shoes tapped at the street. Tomatoes shone, the olives gleamed, the whole town felt the way we dreamed, like all the winter dark and rain had made this brightness worth the wait. In the square of spring we meet, bread and wine and dancing feet, hands that worked through colder days now rise together into praise. In the square of spring we stay till the light begins to sway, and every face and every song makes the little town feel strong. A child ran past with sugared lips, an old aunt laughed and dropped her slips of paper prayers into her bag, then waved a linen flowered rag. A shepherd came in from the hill, his dog lay patient, calm and still, and even he who walked alone was folded softly into home. No palace hall, no grand parade, just simple joy the people made, with borrowed chairs and weathered hands and hearts that knew what matter stands. In the square of spring we meet, bread and wine and dancing feet, hands that work through colder days now rise together into praise. In the square of spring we stay till the light begins to sway, and every face feast became a village prayer. When evening laid its blue on stone, the square grew softer one by one. The plates were clear, the candles burned, and all the swallows homeward turned. A lantern glowed beside the stair, a ribbon moved in cooling air, and where the dancing filled the light, now footsteps slowed into the night. The tables thinned, the voices fell, the chapel held the final bell, and still the town was gently warm, as if the feast had changed its form. Not gone, just quiet, resting low, in windows with a golden glow, in half-finished wine, in folded cloth, in little smiles no one shook off. Lanterns after the feast still shine, along the street, along the vine, keeping the tender hours bright, as spring steps softly into night.